What's up, guys? Welcome back. And today we're going to talk about the power of intention. And there is an awesome spiritual teacher named Dyer. You may have heard of him, you may have not heard of him. And unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. But I have a few of his books. He literally has a book called The Power of Intention. And funny enough, I didn't know this at the time, but he actually studied directly under Neville Goddard. He was a student of Neville Goddard's. And I came across that information kind of much more recently, actually. I was a little bit surprised to find that, but actually also not that surprised at the same time. So I have a few quotes that I pulled up from Dyer about intention. And I'm going to read them off, and we're going to discuss also just what intention really is and how it relates to affirmations and all of that, but we'll get to that. So let's start off with the quotes here. So the power of intention is the power to manifest, to create, to live a life of unlimited abundance, and to attract into your life the right people at the right moments. You can't manifest something that you don't have a clear intention for. You can't manifest something that you don't believe in. Unlimited abundance is not something that's out there waiting for you. It's something that's within you, and it's waiting to be tapped into. Love is the highest intention. It's the highest vibration. It's the highest frequency. It's the highest state of being. Creativity is also the highest intention, the highest form of manifestation. It's the highest state of being. Oh, wait a second. Okay. The highest form of manifestation, the highest form of expression. My bad. Kindness is the intention to be of service to others. It's the intention to help others. It's the intention to make a positive difference in the world. Expansion is the intention to grow, the intention to evolve, the intention to become more than you are today. Receptivity is the intention to receive. It's the intention to allow. It's the intention to accept. And these quotes highlight the importance of intention in manifesting one's desires, living a life of abundance, and connecting with the higher self. So, there's some more quotes here. I just have to read a couple of these more because there's some gems here. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. I'm not sure if Dyer was the first person to say this, but how people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours. Friends are God's way of apologizing for your family. See, these are just gems right here. With everything that has happened to you, you can either feel sorry for yourself or treat what has happened as a gift. Everything is either an opportunity to grow or an obstacle to keep you from growing. You get to choose. Wow. And yeah, I'm going to read this last one. When you judge another, you do not define them, you define yourself. You are not stuck where you are unless you decide to be. You cannot be lonely if you like the person you're with. I mean, these are all just like so good. What I want to latch into now is this idea right here about everything that's happened to you. You either feel sorry for yourself, you treat it as a gift. And we talked about this recently about the ability to choose to respond instead of react. When you stop reacting to the negatives in your environment, the negatives in your 3D, when the opposites are showing up, that's when you take your power back. And that's when you're able to decide. You get to choose. It's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for evolution, for change. And just that shift the shift in focus and the shift in intention can radically change your life. This is another interesting one. All blame is a waste of time. No matter how much fault you find with another, and regardless of how much you blame him, it will not change you. The only thing blame does is to keep the focus off you when you are looking for external reasons to explain your unhappiness or frustration. You may succeed in making another feel guilty about something by blaming him, but you won't succeed in changing whatever it is about you that is making you unhappy. These are all just so profound, and it all goes back to where you're placing your focus. Where are you placing your intention? If your intention in that moment is to cast blame, judgment on another person, make them feel guilty, well, yeah, you might be able to do that. But again, just like Wayne Dyer says, that's not changing your internal, that's not changing you. You need to bring the focus back onto you. You need to decide what is it that you are intending for your own life. And, you know, I really like Wayne Dyer also because I feel like he actually kind of has more of a holistic point of view. And I really am not a fan of all this black and white thinking. You know, it's either it has to be like this or it has to be like that. It has to be taking no action or it has to be taking, you know, hustle culture or whatever. It's just, everything exists in shades of gray. I've said this a lot. So Wayne Dyer is identifying a lot of truth in some of these quotes. And the thing that I want to impart with this video here today is that no matter what it is, you always have an intention, and your intention is going to be in alignment with your beliefs. That quote that we just looked at previously, the one that we said that you can't manifest something that you don't have a clear intention for. You can't manifest something that you don't believe in, right? So with this in mind, I talk a lot about faith. I talk a lot about how faith is really walking with faith, because when you believe in something, you are going to naturally take the action that is in alignment with that thing. And it could be something even as small as, yeah, just like affirming it. But it also could be as something as, oh yeah, I'm going to be a best-selling author, so I'm going to actually write the book. See, if you don't believe that you can become a best-selling author, then you're not going to take the steps to write the book. If you don't believe that you can accomplish X goal, you're not going to make the progress, and you're not going to set the intention. And intention is living with intention. Intention is walking by faith. Intention is being that version of yourself. And that version of yourself that has intended to be more outgoing is going to naturally start more conversations with people, is going to naturally be more friendly, is going to naturally be more gregarious. The version of yourself that decided that you were going to start posting on social media is going to naturally make posts. They're going to turn the camera on. They're going to start recording. They're going to start publishing their content. And the way that this relates, you know, so we talk about affirmations a lot, also visualization, scripting. These are like the main, you know, a lot of the main bread and butter that we have at our disposal in terms of tools that we can use to tools to manifest, right? But what is it that we're doing when we're doing all of these things? Yeah, we're manifesting, but what we're doing is we are intending for those things by visualizing a scene, by entertaining a more positive internal dialogue, which is another way of saying that we are affirming to ourselves. We are intending that thing. So when we say to ourselves, I'm a master at manifesting, or we say to ourselves, it's natural for me to have positive people in my life. It's natural for me to excel at creating videos. It's natural for me to be a master at communication. When we proclaim these things, when we declare these things, when we affirm these things to ourselves, we are sending out this positive intention into the universe. And this is also why you see certain people disagree, right? Certain people not disagree. I mean, yeah, certain people actually do disagree, which to me is funny. It's like, why would you disagree with something? You can just do something that works for you. So if one person prefers visualizing, then do that. If one person, you know, I've gotten a comment recently talking about how people say, oh, you know, I'm following somebody who just says, set the intention once and then drop, or make the affirmation once and then drop it. Well, hey, if that works for you, then do it. But none of those things are wrong. None of these things are inherently wrong. They're all different paths to setting our intention. And yes, a lot of the time dropping it can help because that loosens up the resistance, that loosens the grip on it. And the robotic affirming is the one reason that robotic affirming works is, again, it gets you in that hypnotic rhythm. It's like you get in a state of hypnosis because you're simply repeating it so many times. and you are just saying it to yourself over and over again in a robotic fashion, auto suggestion, right? That's what it is. And so it's just like, yeah, of course. The more that you say it, the more natural it becomes in a lot of times for a lot of people. But yeah, you have people out there that just say, okay, I'm going to just affirm this one time and then never affirm it again, right? And maybe there's people that have success with that. I think for small things, I've certainly had success doing it that way. You could affirm something, oh yeah, like I always get parking spots, or I always get, people give me free stuff. But a lot of the times, there's that also, like, you can write a list of these things. You script them, you can journal them. Really, all of these things are intention setting. They are forms of setting your intention. And when you intend on something, Vadim Zeland talks about, it's very kind of hard to describe, because it's almost like you just have this natural ease, but also this positive expectation. He gives an analogy in Transurfing that you don't have to put effort in or do all these other things or mental tricks to simply go to pick up your mail from the mailbox, right? You just have the intention to go get your mail, and then you get your mail. And that's kind of what it is too. He also talks about in the book, like, lifting your arm. It's not like you're like sitting around with this like stewing over it and thinking about how you're going to do it or anything. You just intend for it and you do it. And so it's very kind of hard to describe. One way that I've actually gotten more in tune with the power of intention and what intention really is actually through lucid dreaming. And I could maybe I could do some videos on that and share kind of the ways that I've gone about that process and how it has helped me with intention. But essentially, having the idea of something, holding that in your mind, holding that vision, that positive expectation, and then just doing it, or just allowing it to take form. It's also like that's what visualization is too. That's one thing that helps about visualization and robotic affirming as well, because all of these go hand in hand. We've been talking about how one informs the other, right? But if I see myself on the tennis court hitting that powerful tennis stroke, then I am putting out an intention to do that by visualizing that. Or if I say to myself, I'm amazing at tennis, like I hit the best, my forehands are so smooth, I'm naturally almost having that positive visualization, that positive expectation, and I am having that intention. I'm engaging that intention muscle by engaging in these activities, whether it is affirming, whether it is scripting, whether it is visualizing. So intention is it's this force in the universe, but using intention really is how we manifest. And so any of these things and these practices that we're engaging in, that is what we're using, is the power of intention. So when you have an intention for something, it's going to really change the way that you act and the way that you show up as well. And that's why I always talk about, your actions. Your actions matter. Your actions matter. Contrary to what a lot of these people on YouTube or a lot of the people in this community would say, that you just sit around, don't take any action. When you truly intend on something, when you truly believe in something, whether it's that you're going to be making YouTube videos, or that you're going to be a phenomenal tennis player, or you're going to be really good at sales or public speaking, well, you are going to be doing those things. You're going to be intending on it. You're going to be looking for opportunities to do it, to practice that skill set, to become that version of you that just absolutely kicks ass at that thing. And that's what's going to happen. When you set these intentions, when you take that action, when you take that aligned action, you set the intention, you know what you're doing, you know what you're going for, you go for it and give it your all. You're not clinging on it like this. You don't need to necessarily have this really tight grip and the white knuckle approach. But you are focusing on those positive aspects. You are focusing on how you are improving. You are focusing on how you are getting better, and your ability and your belief is in alignment. And that's why you're taking the actions. Because if you didn't truly believe that you were going to be a YouTuber or an author, then you wouldn't sit down to actually do the writing. You wouldn't sit down to write the book. By doing the thing, that proves your intention. That proves your conviction. That proves your belief. That proves your faith. You are walking with faith when you do that. This is what intention is. So yeah, if you want to learn about more of that and really kind of dive into the topic of intention, Wayne Dyer, he's a great spiritual teacher, and he has a book called The Power of Intention. I read it quite a while ago, and so it's been a while, but all of his material, the quotes that we just went over, I mean, they're really good. He really does a good job at kind of just revealing truth. And you know, speaking of the divine and speaking of that divine energy flowing, you know, he's an example of that. You know, when you see him speak, when you read what he's written, it is very clear that the divine is just working through him. And like I said, he was a student of Neville's. So whatever beef you want to have with him about intention or action or anything, you know, you can take it up with Neville too. Maybe Neville would would have some beef with Wayne about this too. Let's see. Unfortunately, I guess they can't hash it out. But I'll just drop the verdict right here and say that the intention, action, it works, guys. Anyways, with that being said, much love as always. Drop this with a like, hit me with a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.